Hello, you are listening to the OmniTalk Fast 5, brought to you in partnership with the A&M Consumer and Retail Group, Firework, SPS Commerce, and Sezzle. All right, let's go to headline number one, Chris. Walmart is deploying the Vusion platform from partner SES and Magotag within U.S. stores as part of its digital shelf strategy. I don't feel like that headline sells the magnitude of this
No,
story.
well, tell us what you mean, Ann.
Okay, so according to the ICX Association, the first phase will include 500 stores over the next year and a half for a total of 60 million digital shelf labels. The platform has reportedly been in development for more than 10 years and features innovations that range from smart rails combining connectivity and energy to battery-less digital labels with enhanced performance. So Walmart's Vice President, Bala Prasanna, had this to say about the announcement. Quote, changing price shelf labels in stores is time-sensitive for our associates. We've been testing digital solutions that will help us manage these price changes electronically, allowing associates more time to do what matters most, helping our customers. We're seeing positive results and are expanding the rollout of these electronic shelf labels, end quote. Chris, this also happens to be the A&M
really?
Put You on the Spot question.
Right in the first thing in the morning here.
Yes, you got to kick
God.
it off. So shake off those cobwebs.
It's like 8 o'clock in the morning here in Barcelona.
Yes.
All right.
Chris, they want to know, A&M has this important question about this big ESL announcement from Walmart.
Yes.
This marks a huge inflection point for the adoption of ESLs, electronic shelf labels, which we expect to become more prevalent in the next 1 to 2 years.
Okay.
Chris.
Yes.
Do you think retailers like Walmart are thinking about using ESLs for more sophisticated applications like dynamic and day part pricing beyond the obvious labor efficiency benefit that Bala Prasanna was talking about in their announcement? Statement about this.
In the statement? Candidly, I would say I doubt it. And I would add to it, I hope not.
Okay.
I think this announcement is really great. It's really great for a couple reasons. One, I mean, we've been talking about this for years. We've been on the ESL train on this show for a long time, probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And in recent years, like in the last 1 to 2 years, I've been predicting that something like this was going to happen. And so it's great to see Walmart go after this.
Yeah.
But particularly it's great for, of course, you get the flexibility in pricing. It saves you time. It saves you labor. Helps you get mark to market in your pricing with e-commerce much more easily. But the really cool thing about the announcement is, and we talked about this on stage yesterday with the CEO of SES, which coincidentally we were interviewing. Did. Yeah, and we should just go to SES is a big partner of ours. They sponsor a lot of our work. They sponsored us at Shop Talk too. But I interviewed him alongside Trigo, the CEO of Trigo, who's also been a great sponsor of our work. And I asked him, I was like, what makes the ESL particularly such a complementary piece to computer vision and AI? And it really is. It's kind of that linchpin piece of the setup, of the foundation of how you can think about a future digitized store or a smart store, mainly because of all the operational benefits it provides, right? You can correlate it with cameras, across the shelves, in the ceiling, however you want to do it, to get a real-time picture of your inventory, to get a real-time picture of your prices on shelf. It can be used with pick-to-light capabilities to give operational efficiency for your in-store workers, your third-party pickers. There's so much ground or so much gold to be mined just from the operational side of this that I hope retailers, or if I was advising Walmart, I would say, Walmart, stick to that before you even think about the catchy kind of soundbitey things like dynamic pricing and day pricing and changing prices whenever you want at the whim of whatever consumers down the aisle, because that's a road to nowhere, quite honestly, and it's probably a road fraught with friction from a PR perspective as well. Right. So I'm hoping that's not the case, Ann.
I hope that's not too, Chris. I think you bring up some really, really important points that, I would just highlight. I think this shows the years of work that, SES and Magotag with the Vusion platform, ESLs in general, that the companies creating these ESLs have put into it. Like, it took a long time to get to this point. The value proposition for electronic shelf labels, just the ability to remove the work and labor part of it, it wasn't enough for people for a long time. And so I think that the big announcement here is that we're finally seeing electronic shelf labels and the capability, the work that these companies have put in to make them work as hard as they possibly can, and arguably one of the hardest working technologies in the store right now, to be able to do all the things that you talked about, and to continue to offer benefits as we go down to more like in-store media efforts. And then,
media part is a part of this too. Yeah.
Dwell time in front, out of stock, all these capabilities capabilities. And I think the second important point here is that I think that you look at a retailer like Walmart, and I think now is the time when A&M asks the good question of, what are we going to see in the next 1 to 2 years? But how do we start to see other retailers that don't have the scale of Walmart start to adopt this? What does that look like? And I think that's where retailers need to be focusing on is what are the other benefits that even if I'm not, a retailer in the US with 4,000 plus stores, how do I start to, work my way up to what Walmart is able to roll out?
The retail media point is great too, Ann, because we talked about this with Coke, with Simon Miles of Coke yesterday. We're like, okay, he's a huge expert on retail media. We're like, how's this going to play out in the store? We talked about the digital screens with ShopRite. And as I was listening to him, and I think you were too, we were kind of like, we're probably not going to the digital screen activation in the store is probably not going to be what people are thinking it is.
Right.
And probably it's going to be attacked most likely through things like this, where you're just doing it a little bit differently on shelf, a little bit easier, a little more flexibly, being able to react to your customer more in real time. But you're right. Like, at the end of the day, the big number in this is Walmart.
Yep.
60 million tags, right? 60 million tags Walmart's buying and deploying in 500 stores.
Yeah.
That is huge.
Yes.
And more people are likely going to follow because what Walmart does, people tend to follow.
Oh, yeah.
Especially in mass.